Cheers, everyone. Good morning. I should probably put in my little thing so I can hear myself. But hi, welcome. This is what happens when I'm drinking water instead of coffee. Good morning. If you are here to use LinkedIn to find a job, you're in the right place. You're here with myself, Rachel Moore, and I am pleased to be with you today. If you guys ever want to find me, I'm pretty much everywhere at Rachel Moore RS. The RS is not like any special educational designation. That's really just, it stands for really social. As you can imagine, Rachel Moore is a rather common name. So I had to add something to the end, and it's always best practice to make your stuff line up across platforms. Little social media tip there for you. But welcome. Happy to be here with you this morning. I want to jump right in because we are going to cover a great topic this morning for this month's live stream, using LinkedIn to find a job. You're going to walk away from this live stream with at least one or two takeaways. You're like, I have not done that before, and I need to do that so I can passively be looking for a job out there without actually putting any a three-piece suit on, or the skirt and the heels and whatever. You guys can use LinkedIn after this broadcast to find that job. I have found my last 3 jobs using LinkedIn, and there's a pinky swear right there. It's been through different methods and different features that LinkedIn offers. So but I can vouch for it. It's a fabulous way to passively be out there, be seen, and see where the opportunities are. And so I speak from experience. This works. Obviously, it's not going to be tried and true for everybody. Everyone's going to have their different obstacles or challenges or opportunities. But what I want to share with you today are the things that are available to everybody today. That's another point. Everything you learn today is a free feature. I don't pay for anything on LinkedIn. I have in the past, but I don't now, and I don't wish to. And I just want to give a shout out. StreamYard is making this possible for me to put this post and do this live stream on YouTube and share the comments. So if you're watching on YouTube, StreamYard commented, and now I can share it in my stream. It's so amazing. Plus, they're making it incredibly easy for me to share my LinkedIn. We're going to be mining through my LinkedIn profile today, and they're the reason I get to do that. So thank you to StreamYard for making a fabulous conduit for me to do this. Otherwise, I'd be using OBS and trying to go to 3 different multiple things, and my computer would be crashing, and it'd be awesome. Or not awesome. You guys are making it awesome. So thank you to StreamYard, who is making this possible, StreamYard.com. And of course, I've got to refer to them in my Bostonian. It's a StreamYard. I'm using StreamYard to go park my car in the yard. I am not from Boston, as you can evidently tell. All right. Shall we dive in before we do anything else? Okay. I want to do one more thing, is that, as you just saw, I used StreamYard's feature to put up a comment on the screen. You guys can do that too. So if you're watching and watching live, you have to be watching live. If you're watching live and would like me to show your comment because you're like, I have something amazing to share. I have my LinkedIn profile I'd like Rachel to share. Or I've got a really good question she hasn't covered. Or I have a great example of when I've done something that she's recommended. You can do that in the comments, and I will see those comments, and I can share them on the screen for everybody to see forever. Because this live stream is going to live on my YouTube channel into eternity. I mean, LinkedIn would pretty much have to go away for me to ever take it down. So that's probably not happening. It's Microsoft. It's Bill Gates. So remember to use chat. And if you want to get super on it and really make sure I see your comment and you really want me to show it, you can put some super chat money behind it, and I will share it. And I'm totally going to share some free ones anyway, too. I'm just saying, if you want to add a little oomph behind it, I can do that for you. Also, just keep in mind, keep things civil in the chat. This live stream is about using LinkedIn to find a job. It's not really for anything else. So if you want to get inappropriate, the tribe is going to take care of that. All right. So with that, let's dive into how to use LinkedIn to find a job. So again, I'm able to share the comments and share banners. So you guys will see as we cover each point, I'll be sharing that here in the studio and on your screen. What I am going to share is I'm going to share my own LinkedIn profile. So there we are. There's my LinkedIn profile. I still laughed at that picture because it was taken 2 years ago, and I feel like I kind of have scary eyes in that picture. It's one of the things we're going to cover today. But let's dive in. So we're going to use my LinkedIn profile as a guinea pig. I have been rated an all-star on LinkedIn for my profile. If any of you are wondering if there's anything higher than all-star, they always have that little circle they show you where it's got that little sliver that's not filled in the top. I don't think anyone hits that. I really don't. But I think you can hit all-star after we go over what we're going to share today. So let's go dive into it. So first thing I want to show you is how one of the things you can do, and you should be doing, whenever I see somebody who doesn't have a customized LinkedIn URL, I'm like, you're not maximizing LinkedIn and you don't know how to go in there. And this is the easiest thing ever, everyone. Do you guys remember at the beginning of the show where I shared that my handle is Rachel Moore RS? So there it is. Rachel Moore RS is my handle everywhere. I wanted to make it as easy as possible for people to find me because I do a lot of social media marketing, want to get seen by stuff out there, make it easier for people to find me. It's like having a website, right? And your brand, your digital brand matters. So it's really important to try to say, well, I want all that stuff to align. Now, on LinkedIn, you do not have to settle for what they give you for your LinkedIn URL. So you know what? Let's hop over and see, how do I change that? So the way that I have gotten into this, I'm going to hop backwards actually, and you should be seeing this on your screen. So we're just going to go into linkedin.com. This is how it opens up when you first get in, you're logged in. Yes, you have a little information about yourself over here, but primarily you're seeing your feed. Well, how do you get into where you can adjust your profile and, more importantly, your custom URL? So I'm going to click on my little avatar on the top right, and I'm going to click on View Profile. So now I'm in my profile, and I want you to take note. You're going to see some pencil icons in here. That basically means you're in the position. You're logged in as yourself, and you're on your profile. Now you can actually make some changes. So I'm actually going to hover over here up on the top right. It's right under where you just clicked, so it's really easy to see. Edit Public Profile and URL. If anyone's wondering what the heck a URL is, it's this. It's basically your website address. That's what a URL is. It's a link. It's a website address, okay? URL stands for something, and I'm not going to say, and if anybody knows what URL is, put it in the comments. I will put it up, I promise, because I knew it at one point, and I can't remember. It's just so complex. It's like, whatever. So here we are on my public profile settings. Now, right again at the top right, you don't even have to go far. Edit URL, personalize the URL of your profile. So when you first start on LinkedIn, likelihood is that you are given a URL that is just a bunch, it's your name as you have it in your profile, and then it's a bunch of alphanumeric characters that mean nothing to anybody. It complicates your URL, but they have to do that, right? Because if I'm Rachel Moore and I go on LinkedIn, I'm not the only Rachel Moore on LinkedIn. They need to give me some kind of unique identifier. Well, when you customize your URL, you can actually say, let's take all that alphanumeric code off the end and give me something that really aligns with myself. So what you can do is you can just easily click, and I've changed my URL several times, guys. So this is not something that you're like, oh, I'm one and done. I can't change it ever again. Your custom URL must contain 3 to 100 letters or numbers. You cannot do underscores, exclamation points, hashtags. You can't do any of that. You're really limited to letters and numbers. However, you can change this to pretty much anything. It could be Rachel is awesome at live streams. I could change that. I could make my URL be linkedin.com/n/Rachel is awesome at live streams. I could make it into something like Rachel needs a job. I don't recommend that necessarily, but it's an option, right? But my current URL is Rachel Moore RS. Remember, I said that I can align that to where I am on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitch, or anywhere like that. I can make those all matter and mean the same thing. So my custom URL is there. This is an easy win you can do. And think about when you put your LinkedIn URL in your signature of your email, or if you want to send it to somebody, how much better does it look when it's just your name and maybe even just a couple identifying words that mean something to you or mean something to the person that's looking you up? It's going to look way sharper and way more professional. So that is the first point we have today, is that you need to customize your LinkedIn URL. Let me hop down since we're already here. I want to also put this up to work on your public profile. So let's talk a little bit about that, guys. So the hope is that you want to get seen by people that maybe you wouldn't normally connect with. That's where the magic of social media comes in, right? You're able to cross geographical boundaries. You're able to cross any lines where it's like, I would never have been introduced to that person before, but now I have access to them. It's one reason I love Twitter. There's just no holds barred. I can access anybody pretty much on there. It's awesome. But LinkedIn works very much the same way. It's a little more controlled in LinkedIn, and it's all about connections. And we can talk a bit about that too. But you do want your profile to be public. And when it's public in LinkedIn, that means that anybody in LinkedIn, if they're signed in, can go see what you've allowed them to see on your public profile. If you are looking for a job, you want to make as much relevant stuff public as possible. Okay, so let me share my screen again. We're going to go dive into my public profile here. And this is really easy to do, by the way. And at any point, you can edit your profile, but this screen will tell you, here's how I can actually change what's visible. So if I scroll down that same sidebar where I just changed my URL, you control your profile's appearance for viewers who are not logged in members. So this is not just for within LinkedIn, but it's also for outside LinkedIn. That's what you want too, because even if people aren't on LinkedIn, they can still see you. I have my public visibility set to on. Now I could turn that off if I wanted to. Oh gosh, look. And now look what it's just done. It's really restricted anything someone can see outside of LinkedIn. I don't want that. And neither do you if you're looking for a job. So I'm going to turn it back on, and you can see that at live preview is saying, okay, well, here's what people can see. My picture should upload shortly. And I'm going to scroll down and make sure everything's cool. So my name, number of connections, my industry that I currently work in, and my region. I totally want those. I want all LinkedIn members to see my profile photo. Actually, I want everyone to see my profile photo. So I'm just change that to public, and look. So notice that when I switched off and went back to on, it kind of set me up with some default settings. I want my picture visible to everybody. I want them to know what I look like. And when I walk in a door, if I'm meeting somebody for coffee, hello. Have you guys ever done that? Where you're like, yes, I'm going to meet you for coffee. I've never seen you before. It's a business connection I want to make. And you get there, and in five minutes before they are supposed to walk in the door, you're like, I don't know what they look like. Ugh. LinkedIn. This is why you want this public and able for people to be able to see it, because then they're like, oh, good, I can identify. I'm having you for coffee. I'm meeting you. And now I can see who you are. There's none of that like, hi, are you Rachel? Don't do that. You can just put your picture up, be like, yes, you're Rachel, I can tell. So this is why you want this stuff public. Also, additionally, look, you can really get into the minutia and say, I want all this stuff public. Maybe I don't want my education public. Maybe I don't need people to see honors and awards or projects I've worked on because they were secret, super secret projects. I don't want people to see my groups. I hid courses because that was something I filled in at one point. I'm like, I'm too lazy to go in and delete all that out, but I just don't see the relevance of showing that. I have a degree. It's great. So I've hidden that just so it has less clutter. Now you do have a option to do a badge. I've never really done that. I just ever used my link down in my signature because to me that just works better. If you want to get picturesque, you can totally do a badge. Totally fine. But that essentially covers like why you would want to make your public profile all optimized so that you have the best opportunity to get seen by other people. Okay. So, and again, if you're watching live, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments. I will get a little alert thanks to StreamYard, and I'll be able to see and answer your question. But we are going to cover quite a bit more. So I'm going to keep skating. I'm also going to take a lovely drink of water with my Peanuts glass. And this is the peace theme. So I'm digging that. I have 3 other ones, but I love these glasses. I won them as a white elephant Christmas gift a few years ago. So pausing for water. All right. Now that we have customized our LinkedIn URL, let's talk about some of the basics. Now, some of you out there may have a LinkedIn profile where you've got that very standard default. There's nothing here. It's a gray background with a little white cutout of a person, nondescript. I have to tell you, every time I see an avatar like that or a profile photo that has nothing in it, I'm assuming you're a fake account. So if you're not fake, if you are a real person watching this broadcast or watching this replay, and you're like, well, I'm a real person and I want a job, you're going to have to put a picture up that demonstrates that. The assumption is people are going to see that and either think, okay, you're not a real person, you're a fake account, or you don't care enough. You don't care enough to tell me what you're about or put your best face forward or market yourself. You don't care. So they're just going to skate right past you. I can't tell you how many recruiters I've talked to as well who say, yeah, if I don't see a headshot photo in LinkedIn, they don't take this seriously. That's not a professional way to do. Well, let's mitigate that. Let's not give them that assumption and make this work for us. So I want to hover on my picture. So, and again, I'm not trying to aggrandize myself here, but I just want to focus on what this is. So if I click on my picture, It should open here for me, and it's going to go on my profile. And actually, I'm going to go back into LinkedIn and go into my editing of my profile, because then we can actually see what we're looking at here. So when you are on LinkedIn, let's hop back into view profile. And I'm going to actually click on edit, because that's going to let me edit my profile. And here we are. We're in the part where I can edit everything that's up on the top. The main thing, the first things people see about me on LinkedIn. I'm going to click on this little pencil icon. So when you're in here, it's showing me, okay, here's the picture you have. It's giving the little overlay saying, okay, it's going to be a circle, so I can see what I want to be in there. If I wanted to, I could like tilt myself and be a little askew. I don't wish to do that. Oops, actually, maybe I do need to change it here. What happened there? Oh my goodness. I may actually have to cancel out of this, because now I'm all skewed. Oh, I see what it's doing. It's rotating me myself. Thank you. Go back. Okay. Here we go. Just going to make sure I'm as aligned as possible. Thank you for joining that ride with me. That was fun. But I also have some other options. Let's say I just really wanted to be the scary person who's, sorry, I'm left clicking there, who just really wants you to get a really good look at my teeth or something. Maybe I want to get hired as a dentist or a hygienist. I don't know. You can do that. So you have all these options. I can also add a filter to my photo if I wish. I have not played a ton with these, but maybe you have a color photo and you're like, well, I'd rather be black and white to kind of stand out. Black and white can be a little more dramatic and, feel a little, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to change it to black and white and see what happens. And then visibility, this is where you can adjust the settings to say, I don't know if I want everybody to see my photo, maybe just people in, my connections, or maybe just people who are logged into LinkedIn, but you do have these options. And you even then still have some adjustment options to say, I want a vignette. A vignette basically puts in that black kind of bordering around. It's very dramatic. You can change your color saturation, the contrast, and the brightness. Okay. I want you to also notice, though, is that where the picture that I'm showing you guys that I have on my profile, I did have someone take it for me. But it's really easy to get your own picture up if you don't have one, or if you have worse, a picture that you got, like you looked really good at a wedding, so you had someone take it and you just crop that down. Everybody can tell you're at a wedding, you're at a nightclub. We can all tell, okay? Don't use those pictures. What I recommend is go find a solid wall, preferably a brick wall. It can be a cool wood wall. I don't care. Go find a wall outside, okay, that has some natural daylight coming on, and have somebody take a picture of you against that wall. We have the natural daylight. We can see your features. If you look fairly well groomed, great. But we really are just I need to see your face and be able to tell you're the person I'm looking for. Okay. That's what we're looking for. And even this picture, I mean, I've got a little bit of shadow on one side, but it's not awful. You can still tell who I am, right? If you and I were meeting at a Starbucks or a Dazbog or wherever coffee shop is our preference, you'd know who you're looking for. So I just adjusted that, and let me hop back over and make sure everybody's cool. The other thing you can change up is your background image. So if you guys can see behind my head on my profile, I have a background image. Now, again, LinkedIn is just going to have a general color background there if you don't have one. I believe they even offer, let's hop in and see what they offer as far as like some of those background images. So you can upload a photo. If you want to delete the photo, you can. I'm not going to. This photo is actually it's created by the creative team at T-Tech, which is where I currently work. And I uploaded it. I skewed it a little bit because I just wanted to put a little flair on it. But you can upload that, and it's basically just giving someone that idea of like, okay, so this might tell me a little more about what you are and what you do. If you can make this background image align with what you do and where your expertise is, that's awesome. Like, let's say that you're an event coordinator and you want people to know that. I would totally be putting things in here saying, here's a picture of people enjoying an event. You know, it looks classy. It's well put together. There's hors d'oeuvres. You're totally going to like say, and that's the kind of thing I put together. Maybe you are. We talked about being a dental hygienist. You might want to have, the waiting room, a very friendly, awesome waiting room, with someone with you smiling in the dental waiting room. Could be something like that. Again, easy enough to have somebody take that for you. So that's what I recommend. I do want to discard changes, actually. Discard. Oh, I keep hitting the left. Remember, guys, I've only had one cup of coffee. So this is what we're working with. If you do anything, if you don't do the background image, that's okay, guys. I really do encourage you, though. I think the headshot photo is a must. If there's anything you do today, if you don't have a headshot picture in your LinkedIn, or worse, you have a bad one, I will confess, I used to have one that was from a family picture shoot, and I had cropped it down, but you still could see my son's ear. That wasn't good. That wasn't a good picture. It wasn't your best face forward. So really, I recommend you doing that. That would be a great way to get things going and rolling with you to make LinkedIn work a little better for you. All right. Let's talk about that headline. Oh my gosh, this is the enigma. I love talking about headlines because this is really like your elevator pitch on LinkedIn using words, just written words. So what happens in LinkedIn is that LinkedIn is going to, when you fill in your profile, particularly when you first sign in, right? It's saying, well, tell us about your experience. Where do you currently work? What was the job before that? What was the job before that? And you can go into your experience and fill all that stuff out. You can go back as far as you want. I usually go back about, 5-ish years, just because things change so much and people do hopscotch around jobs quite a bit. But as long as you're demonstrating your experience, that's great. But what'll happen is when you enter your experience, you're going to put in the job title you had, right? So LinkedIn, and it's just a natural thing, it's going to grab whatever your current or most recent job title is, and it's going to make that your headline on LinkedIn. Here's the problem with that. What if your job title is account executive 2, like Roman numeral 2? I've actually seen that or maybe it's like team lead 3 or something like that. That doesn't tell me a whole lot. Account executive, okay, so you manage accounts in an executive fashion. I don't know what the Roman numeral 2 means. That could be anything. Your structure at your company might make 1 the most important. Maybe it works the other way, where it's like if you get account executive level 5, that's the best one. I don't know that. Team lead could be something where, like, okay, so you lead a team. What kind of team do you lead? Do you lead a team of mathematicians? Do you lead a team of clowns? I don't know that from that headline. Unfortunately, our headlines tend to be, they matter to our career, but they can tend to be very vague, and it does not give me a good notion as to what you're good at. What do you do? What do you offer me? What can you do for me as a recruiter, as a client, as a customer, as a connection on LinkedIn? What do you do for me? So this is where I want to challenge you guys, is that we can make that headline pop for you and be like, well, let me tell you exactly what I do for you. It's pretty dang cool. So I'm going to hop back over into my profile. So you'll notice again, and I'm going to click on this pencil icon, which lets you adjust all this stuff. This is where you can change that headline. Now, my current title is Social Media Marketing Manager. That is pretty good. It's a good title. I like my title. Okay. I like that it tells people I work in social media, I market with social media, and I manage social media. That probably means I manage things and or people. Sweet. But that's not all I do. Okay. I do a ton of stuff. I love social media, but I also obviously really like live streaming. I work in websites. I work on podcasting. And my biggest thing is that I like to connect with real people. Okay. We got talked about fake accounts earlier. I hate that stuff. I hate trolls. I hate fake accounts. I hate all that stuff. I love the fact that social media lets me connect with a real person. I have met people through social media I never would have met otherwise. Okay. And it's the same thing with LinkedIn. I've worked for people I never would have thought I would work for otherwise, but because of that connection, I am. So I worked a lot on this headline, and my headline is connecting with real people through social media. That's what I do. Web, always on websites. Live streaming, also something I do, and podcasting. So I have just let you know, I've told you what I do. It's like, I like connection. That's important to me. I like real people. I like to be authentic. That's important to me. Social media, I'm good at that. Websites, live streaming, podcasting, I do all that stuff. I've given you in a nutshell what I do. So I just feel this paints a far broader, but more descriptive picture of me than me just saying I'm a social media marketing manager at T-Tech, okay, or any of these other titles that I have that are currently in my experience. So I want to challenge you with that. Come up with that title for yourself. Think, what's important to me? What do I want to work in? What gives someone a little bit more notion of who I am as a person? This might seem like a small thing, everyone, where you're like, yeah, but I mean, are they really going to read that? Are they going to like skate over that? Possibly. But why would you not want to have that small piece of your branding be out there? So think of that. What's important to you, and come at it from the standpoint of who's looking at your profile. They care about what you do for them as a, if you're an employee at their company, or even if you were like looking for B2B clients and stuff. What are you going to do for them? That's what you want to get across. And you want to say, I'm good at this and I'm passionate about this. Okay. So if your headline can cover those two things, I'm good at this and I'm passionate about this. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your current title. If you want to incorporate that, that's totally fine, guys. Okay. I am so excited. If anyone has any questions, please feel free. Let's pause for a moment while I take some water. Do you have any questions? Pop them in the comments. Would love to just know what you're thinking and what you're wondering about. If you have any questions about what we just talked about, but I'm about to share with you a secret that I don't think a ton of people know. And it's the coolest thing ever, because one thing that's scary about looking for a job on LinkedIn is like, oh my God, what if my current employer sees that? What if? That's a quandary, isn't it? We don't want our current employer, particularly for like, hey, I got a pretty decent job. Maybe I'm not entirely thrilled with it, but it's a job, right? It's a job. I get a paycheck. That's cool. If I'm looking, maybe I don't want my employer to know that I'm looking, because what if they take it the wrong way? What if there's like, oh my God, you're looking, so we're just going to look for a way to get you rid of you. Dude, I work in Colorado. It's an at-will state. Any employer here can decide at the drop of a hat without cause to say, you're done. We're gonna drop you, and we don't have to prove why. Granted, that doesn't save them from any ensuing lawsuits and stuff, but it is an at-will state. You might live in an at-will state in the United States. You might have other rules in other countries where you are employed, where it's like, I just want to play it safe. I don't want my employer to know I'm looking. Hold on to your seats. We're about to go dive into this. This is one of the best features I think that LinkedIn ever rolled out, and it's about a year old, so it's been there, but not since the beginning. So let's dive in. So I'm going to show you how to turn on career interests. I want to add this caveat. If your company does have actual recruiters, people who are mining LinkedIn and other social and other web, finding candidates, this still will make you visible to them, okay? Most likely. They can still see you. But a lot of companies out there, particularly smaller companies, don't have that, okay? If you work for a company, you know they don't have that, you're probably fine here. This is going to be fine. It's going to work for about 90% of you out there, okay? So let's dive in and look at what this is. So I'm going to share my screen again. Let me hop over. All right, I'm going to X out of this, and yes, I'm going to discard my changes. Thank you so much for asking. It's so nice that it does that. So you're on your LinkedIn, and along the top, you always have this navigational bar. It's telling you, okay, here's your home. Here's where you can go for your feed. Here's your network. Here's where you can go look for people that you already connected to or suggestions. Jobs. This makes sense, right? This is where you would go to say, okay, I'm going to go on LinkedIn and start kind of looking at what's out there in my industry or in a position I'd like to have. And job search is great. And if I click on this, I'll actually kind of highlight this. You can actually save job searches in here, which is fabulous. Again, available when you don't have a paid LinkedIn account. This is free. So you can say, please set up a job search, a job alert. It'll alert you weekly. It'll alert you daily if you want, or monthly. But you can say, these are the things I'm looking for. That's great. Okay, that's you setting up a job search. But what if you want to just kind of turn your profile on and say, hey, recruiters, I'm over here. I just want you to know I'm here, and I might be looking for a job. That's where you click on career interests. Again, you get to this by clicking on the jobs icon at the top, the little suitcase, and it's right here at the top, guys, right here. Career interests, I'm going to click on that. This is so great. And I, for the interest of this tutorial, I'm going to turn this on, guys. So anyone who's watching at T-Tech, calm down. I'm just demonstrating. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. You can see it says, let recruiters know you're open. Now, open is not a bad thing. I think any good employee should be out there saying, I just always want to keep my eye on the circumference, on the horizon, saying, well, let me just know what opportunities might be out there for me. This is what this does for you. And it does it for you passively. So you don't have to be actually looking at jobs right now. This is going to do this for you in the background. I'm going to click on. All right. So now that it's lets recruiters know that I'm open, I can actually add a note to recruiters. I have up to 300 characters for this. Now, this could be anything. I would focus again, think in the line along the lines of that headline. You're passionate about this. I would love to work in an opportunity like this. I'm really good at this. You could even say why you're looking, saying my company is downsizing. They're doing layoffs. I want to switch industries or anything like that. Or I'm looking to move and relocate due to this. Totally fine to put that note in there. I bet any recruiter would say that would be great if I had some context as to why you're looking. And don't just be like, don't do the standard objective phrase like seeking success in a new opportunity. No, tell me why. Why do you want to make the move? What's going on? I also would really avoid bad mouthing your current company. A recruiter is also going to look at that and say, well, great. What are you going to say about us if we hire you? Okay. Stick to the positives, stick to the truth, and just stick to encouraging them, saying, this is why I'd be awesome if you decide to pick me. Then guys, this gets so in depth. Your career interests help determine what jobs you want. So this is where you can tell them, what stage are you at? Are you actively applying? Like, yes, I am out there. I am on Craigslist. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Indeed. I'm on Monster. I'm on Career Builder. I'm trying to find jobs. These are all job boards. It's crazy. They're all out there. You're actively applying. Or casually looking, I'm okay where I'm at, but I am kind of keeping an eye out. I would be open to moving. Not looking, but open to offers. Isn't that cool? That is such a pat on the back when you're like, I'm not even looking, and someone says, hey, we want to talk to you. We saw your profile. You look pretty cool. We want to talk to you about an opportunity with us. Maybe we can entice you toward our company. That feels nice. And you can actually set this to say, I'm not looking, but man, if you made me the right offer, I'd be open. Or not open to offers. Now, in this case, if this is your choice, I don't know why you'd have this turned on. Okay. I think I love that they include this though, because if you're getting there and you're like, I'm really not open to offers, why are we turning this on then? I mean, maybe somebody could still say, yeah, but a recruiter could say, maybe we could make you the best offer that you can't possibly turn down. Interesting, right? But I think these are great. They're awesome options. It gives you a varying degrees of saying, here's where I'm at. When would you like to start the new job? You can actually say as soon as possible, 1 to 3 months. Maybe it's a long-term thing. Sometimes hiring process take a long time, guys. 4 to 12 months, don't be deterred by that. It's a long game, okay? Particularly when you've got bigger companies that have a lot of like approvals to go through. You're willing to wait for the right opportunity. Again, that might be you're passively looking. And then down here, I love this one. What job titles are you considering? If you are looking to get promoted upward and increase your title, this is your opportunity to tell them where and why and what you want to be. You can obviously see I'm open to being a chief marketing officer, marketing director, a social media director, vice president of marketing. I could probably on here. Let me just see if they have it in here. These are often like let's see, live stream host. We'll add it. So it's not going to add something that's not already in there, which I think they should have live stream host. LinkedIn, if you're listening, Bill, live stream host needs to be on here. So I can't add that one, unfortunately. Let me exit out of that so they don't put it in there. Okay, that's fine. But it will let you have a bunch of options and really just start typing a word in here, director. Look, you have a ton of different stuff. Again, none of these really tell you what industry, but maybe these are the titles you would like. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and leave director in there. Where would you like your next job to be located? You can add your current location, other locations. If you're open to moving across the globe, you can say that. You might have a destination city of choice. Would you prefer, what kind of commute are you looking for? See how in detail this gets you. I love this tool and it's free, guys. This is a free tool. All right. So you can say near my home, no preferences. Let's see your address, set your address. So I'm not going to actually share my address on here. But once you share your address, you can actually say, I love driving, I love public transit. How long are you willing to commute? When do you normally start your commute? All that stuff. And of course, you can say, I'm open to working remotely, by the way. Which, if you are a good company out there, I really think you should make sure you consider remote work. It's where things are going. Millennials are looking for it. Keep that eye out there, guys. And then, of course, what types of jobs are you open to? You can click any of these. If you are just like, I am on the hunt. A lot of times, a part-time or temporary or contract job can turn into something permanent. So if you are indeed looking, I would totally be filling all these in. because, if you're like, I will take a job, just give me something. If you are a great worker, those can turn into something full-time. No guarantee, but I've seen that happen a ton. Which industries do you prefer? This is where it gets really exhaustive. I believe these are all of the industries. I might have taken a few out. So if there's just something you're like, God, I hate public policy, I don't want to work in that. Okay, maybe you don't want to work in broadcast media or printing or civil engineering. Just take those out. I don't really actually want to work in civil engineering. Okay. And then what size of company, if you have a preference, you can put that here. So as you've noticed, as I've gone through, it's saved all of my options. So it'll save real time as you make these adjustments. All you got to do then is leave this page. And now you're actively turned on for recruiters who are using their LinkedIn profile. And it might be a paid LinkedIn profile they're using for the purpose of finding people. Now you're going to get fed up to them saying, hey, this person's looking. So it's a really great opportunity to use. I'm actually going to turn mine off because at any time, if you're like, okay, I'm not looking anymore, easy enough. Turn it off, turn it back on. It'll actually keep all your settings in there, and you can just switch it off and on. So just remember, if you do get that dream job, maybe turn this off at the beginning. So you're like, well, I'm good, I'm set. And you might keep it off for the rest of your life. Who knows? All right. So hopping back over, I love sharing that whole secret interest thing because, again, I see so many people go on LinkedIn and they change their headline to saying, seeking new opportunities, getting fired. I've seen that one. I wouldn't recommend that. I would wait. You always want to put your best face forward because you have to think in the mentality of saying, so if somebody out there needs to hire somebody for their company, what kind of employee are they hoping to get? They are not looking for someone who's going to badmouth the company publicly. They're not looking for a naysayer. They're not looking for a squeaky wheel. Now, I'm not saying companies don't need squeaky wheels, but that's not what they're looking for. We're trying to get you a job. Okay. All right. Let's hop over and talk about filling in your experience. Now, this may be something you already are aware of, but LinkedIn really is not just an online resume. It is an online portfolio. If you have anything visual that you can share about your jobs and your experience, you can share that in LinkedIn in the experience section. So let me share my screen. We're just going to skate down really quickly through my section. And again, you guys, I'm using mine as a guinea pig. I am all-star status, so I feel pretty good about my profile. So I'm just going to skate down through here and see. Let's go down through. Again, when you're on seeing your profile, you can see your little badge, how good you are at your thing. You can see who viewed your profile, blah, blah, blah. Skate down through here, all my activity. Here's my experience. Now, at any time, I can add more experience. I can also move my experience around. Maybe the first thing I'd like people to see is that I'm a host of a podcast. I don't know. And you can edit your experience. Well, let me click on that. And actually, I'm going to click on just to show you how to add something. So this is where you edit a specific experience role that you've had. You can change anything in here you need to. You can say if you want to share this with your network once you make this change. Important. A lot of companies, your employers may think that you're looking for a job if they notice that you've been updating your LinkedIn. If you are going to go in today and update your LinkedIn, just turn that off. No need to share that with your network that you're updating your stuff. Again, if you're worried about your employer saying, why are you updating your LinkedIn? Their first question is going to be, are you looking for another job? Totally fine. However, I wouldn't mind changing this because I can say I wanted to add more detail to saying I manage an awesome team. We manage global accounts. Notice that in my description, I've used a ton of keywords, paid social, all the social media accounts we manage. I work in talent acquisition. I've used my company name, employee culture, blah, 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 blah. Aha, here's where we are. Media. Okay, so let's say that I would like to share with somebody that I have done a really cool training presentation on our social ambassadors program at TTEC. Here's where I can upload that. Notice that it's going in to look at my computer and say, well, where's that file? What do you want to do? You can do PDFs, and actually let's click on that and go over what you can upload. Oh, thank you, LinkedIn. So you can do PDFs. PowerPoints. Who doesn't love a good PowerPoint? Am I right? Microsoft Word docs. Some of these others, which I don't even remotely use. You can do pictures. Maybe again, you're an event coordinator and you took some great pictures at the last event you did at a wedding or something or on a conference. You can share those pictures, GIFs, and TIFFs. Just make sure you stay within, they have to be pretty small, 300 megabytes. So if your PowerPoint is like over that, it's not going to go. And 120 megapixels for the image resolution. But why not share that stuff, right? And I can show you guys. I actually do need to update my experience at T-Tech to do some of this, but I've done this with some of my other profiles, right? So here I've got our podcast is on iTunes. I've gone ahead and put in the graphic we use on iTunes so people know what to look for. This is an actual link, and I need to update that. Let me just do that really quick while we're here. So we went down to where we are just doing our podcast on Facebook. So I'm going to change this link. Actually, can I? I might have to remove it altogether. Okay, good thing to know. So I'm going to actually need to delete this media for right now. It won't let me adjust the link. And so in the future, I will go ahead and upload, add the link. And actually, let me see if I can do, oh, I got it. I know what I'm doing. Link. Let's just do this. So I'm going to put www.facebook. Unpause it. That is the link for that show. And I believe what it's going to do is it's going to put the link in, also giving me an option to add an image to it, because I want you guys to try to add images where possible. It just adds that little bit of flair. If anyone remembers the movie Office Space, flair good. Flair is good for your stuff. All right, so as that's loading, let me hop back over to our broadcast. And I see, hi, and I see Mia Voss is in the house. Hi, thank you for watching, darling. Just showing some super secret, some of them not so secret tips for LinkedIn on how to make this stuff work. But I appreciate you hopping in. And again, Mia, if you know of anybody who is needing a job, please share, let them know. This one thing I love about these live streams is that, we're live right now and open for questions and comments, which I can share on the screen. But this is also going to live on and be on my YouTube channel as a resource, which is great. So really excited to be sharing all this stuff with you guys today. All right, so let me hop back in, and I'm going to keep sharing my thing over here. Looks like it's still loading, possibly. Ooh, actually, let's go see what it's doing. It is still loading, so I'm going to X out of that for right now. Thanks, LinkedIn, for not doing that really fast for the purposes of my live stream. It's awesome. All right, let us go back over toward what we're going in here. So, all right. I'm going to take a pause for a moment and put myself on solo, and let's talk about, this gets a little bit more into the active looking. So I want each of you watching this broadcast right now to think about, what is a company, it doesn't have to just be one, what is one company you're like, I would kill to be, not literally, I would kill though to be able to work at that company. Would love it. I would love working at that company. It'd be amazing. I would love being there. I just dream about working there. I look at them on Facebook all the time, or I see their website, I see them in the news, or I just love what they do. I want to work there. Let's dive into that. You can get your virtual foot in the door on LinkedIn. Why would you not? There's nothing wrong with stalking the company that you want to work for, and LinkedIn is a perfect conduit for it. And don't just stick to LinkedIn, but I'm about to show you the ways that you can stalk your target company, your employer, on LinkedIn. It's amazing. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. Now, I was looking at this earlier. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Mia. You're amazing. Thank you. Great tips. Even if you have a job or a business. I mean, it is. LinkedIn is something you guys should be checking every quarter at least, and make sure everything's updated. A lot of people don't. Oh my gosh. Mia, don't you hate it when you see people who are like, okay, I'm seeing your job title. That's like 2 jobs ago, because I've known you for so long. And I know that that's not where you work anymore. All right, but let me hop back in. Let me put the banner back up. So we're going to talk about following your favorite employer pages. All right, I'm so excited. I love this stuff. So for the purposes of today, I'm going to click on home here. For the purposes of today, drink water. Pinkies up, drink water. I was like, where's I love this company. I love all the things they do. They're so cutting edge. They're innovative and they're fun. My God, they are fun on my feed and I love them. BuzzFeed. I love BuzzFeed. I just think BuzzFeed's cool. I can only imagine working at BuzzFeed. And again, that's all you really can do is imagine and be like, well, it'd probably be really cool to work at BuzzFeed. I'm sure it's stressful because they are on the forefront of all things social and web and digital and funny. BuzzFeed quizzes. Oh my gosh. And if you haven't, guys, you can actually go in and create those BuzzFeed gift quizzes or, commentaries. You can do one yourself. I've yet to finish one. I keep getting in there to do it. Then I'm like, I got to go do other things and make money. But let's talk about that. So let's say that I'm like, I want to go look at BuzzFeed. So I'm just going to go in and you can type in right now, your favorite company on LinkedIn. Oh, look, BuzzFeed has, of course they do. Because of course they do. It's BuzzFeed. Now I want to point something out. BuzzFeed has not updated their background image on their company page. They are going with the LinkedIn standard. So not everybody is going to do all this stuff, guys, but they're like, fine, we have 235,000 followers. I think we're okay. So I want to work at BuzzFeed. I just really want to work there. Now you can totally go find jobs. So the first thing I want to point out, I should be following BuzzFeed, shouldn't I? If I want to work at the company where I really, 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 really want to work, I should be following them. I will now be getting BuzzFeed's updates in my feed on LinkedIn, including when they have someone saying, hey, we are really looking for this person. We're really looking for people who can fill these jobs. So I can obviously go and look at their 6 job openings that they have and see if they have they have a studio production lead. Cool. We can go through there. All this stuff. Senior media planner. People operations lead. Awesome. Now, that's great. Go apply it at the job. Go do this. But here's what I recommend doing too. Imagine with me, if you will, that you applied at a job and you had an opportunity then to go to the window of that hiring manager and just knock on the window and be like, I just sent you, I applied. I just sent you my resume. Hi, really want to work here. Love you guys. Let's just say you had an opportunity to do that. Now, I know that sounds a little creepy. Or maybe you just clicked apply. Let's go back to Starbucks, right? I'm not promoting Starbucks on this, but hey, everybody goes and gets their latte, whatever. Let's say you're at Starbucks and you just clicked apply on that job at BuzzFeed. And as you did, you see a person from BuzzFeed, you just saw them on LinkedIn and that hiring manager comes in. I would totally stand up and be like, hi, I don't mean to be creepy. I just applied to a job at BuzzFeed. And oh my gosh, here you are. Just want to introduce myself quick. My name is Rachel Moore. Love BuzzFeed and really hoping that I can get an opportunity to work with you. Thank you. That's it. That would sound cool. Some people, I would think, particularly someone is like, okay, you're hungry. You want to work at BuzzFeed so much that you just, cool. Don't be a creepster, but I did that. If you had that opportunity, would you not take it? Would you not? If you're hungry to work at that position, would you not take that opportunity? I'm about to show you how you can do that opportunity on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn. Okay, so I want to work at BuzzFeed. I saw some jobs I like. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click. It'll show you this on every company page. See all the employees on LinkedIn that work at BuzzFeed. All right. 2,300 is a lot. That seems like a lot. What if I can't, get there and I can't, I don't know. How am I'm not going to sit here and page through 2,300 people. I don't know any of these people, guys, but I want you to look at what LinkedIn is telling me about how I am connected potentially to these people. And Allison Kim, I'm going to pick on her. She's the first person I saw where it said, hey, I have one shared connection with her. Now, really quick, I want to talk through connections. If you aren't aware about connections, I want you to think of this as the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, except LinkedIn uses 3 degrees, okay? So a first degree connection, first degree, is someone who you are connected with. You have made a connection request to them. They accepted it. You're now connected. There's no steps between you and that person. It's boom. There they are. They're your connection. Second degree connection. So if I'm connected, which I am, with Mia Voss on LinkedIn, and she's connected with somebody I'm not connected with. To me, that person, I have to go one Mia to that person. That's the second degree connection. I'm not directly connected with that person, but through Mia, I could ask to be connected to them because we share a connection, right? A third degree connection is someone who's they're 2 steps away from you. So there's Mia, there's that person, there's another person. She's 2 degrees from that person. I'm 3. I'm as far away from that person as I can possibly get on LinkedIn. What I would need to do is say, okay, I'm connected with Mia. I'm going to connect with that person. And then now I can be a second connection to that person and see if I can connect with them. Okay. So it's just 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it's 3 degrees in LinkedIn connection. Got it? Good. All right. Let us go back in. So I can see on my LinkedIn that Allison Kim is a second degree connection. So she's one over from a person that we were both connected with. She's connected with this gentleman who I'm going to click on his, Dave Gottschalk. So I happen to be connected first degree. You can see First degree connection. He and I are directly connected on LinkedIn. Nice, Dave. Nice to see you. Hope I might give you a little shout out here later. So, all right, Dave and I are connected. That's great. I'm going to back in here. So here's what I want to do. Here's where you can do what I just mentioned about saying, I just applied at a coffee shop and that person at BuzzFeed walked in the door. I'm going to click on Allison's profile. That is all I'm going to do. Okay. I could message Allison if I want. I could ask to connect with Allison if I want. But all I've done is clicked on her profile and I'm looking at it right now. What Allison's going to get later is a notification that I, Rachel Moore, looked at her profile. Okay. Now, Allison, I can tell from this little badge, it's gold. She has a premium membership on LinkedIn. Okay, cool. That's nice. I don't. What that's going to get her is that LinkedIn's going to say, hey, you had some people looked at your profile. Here's who they are. Rachel Moore is one of those people. Now, think about this. If Allison happens to be the hiring person for a job at BuzzFeed, and I have applied, and now I've looked at her LinkedIn, at her profile. Not only is she going to see my application, 1 touch point, then she's going to see that I looked at her profile, 2 touch points. All right, cool. Just got in her face twice instead of just once by applying. Okay, I'm going to back out. Now, okay, and actually, I'm going to go right back in because here's what we're going to do. So just to refresh, Dave Gottschalk is somebody I'm connected to. He and I can in-mail each other at will because we're first-degree connections. Allison, I can't in-mail her. If I did, I would actually need to put some intro. She'd be like, who the heck are you? Let's do this. I'm going to click on Allison. I'm going to click on her More button, and I'm going to say, I want to share her profile because I want Dave to see if he could possibly introduce me to Allison. So I'm going to click share profile. Here's the genius. LinkedIn has taken me right into its messaging platform. Again, free. And I can be in here and say, okay, I'm going to type in Dave. Oh, there he is. Dave Gottschalk. And I'm going to say, so it looks like we've already done, it looks like I invited him to something a while back. So we already have a conversation going, right? And I can say, hi, Dave. I have to share that I'm really interested in working at BuzzFeed and wanted to know to see if you would mind introducing me via email to Allison Kim. Now, remember we saw that there's 2,300 other people at BuzzFeed. Dave may not know Allison. He's connected to her on LinkedIn, sure. Maybe they're tight. Maybe he's not sure who that is, but I'm including her LinkedIn profile to say, here's a reminder who Allison is. And I could click send, thanks. Now, Dave doesn't have to reply. He could be like, oh my God, Rachel, I don't have time for this. Or he might say, you know, Rachel, that's so cool. Thank you. You know, I just was talking to Allison and she really needs somebody good at this job. Ta-da. So I now have tried to foster a connection using my LinkedIn network to say, hey, help me out here if you don't mind. Could you create this connection with me and Allison? So if he does, I applied. I looked at her profile. She's going to get notified I saw it. And maybe Dave's going to say, hey, so Rachel Moore is really interested in working at BuzzFeed and asked me to make a connection. Here's an email between the two of you. Let me know how else I can help. 3. Just increased my chances, showed her I was hungry for that job. I did all of this using a free tool, online, digital, using my LinkedIn. This is why, though, guys, you make sure that LinkedIn profile is banger. It's awesome. It's so good. You have to make sure it's fully filled out because the last thing I want Allison to do is say, all right, let me go check out her profile. She doesn't have a cover photo or she doesn't have a headshot. I can't tell what she does. She hasn't filled in her experience. Not interested. Bye. Thanks, Dave, but no thanks. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys. Don't shoot yourself in the foot like that. This is such an easy thing to do. It does take some time, but if you're spending time on applying places, you're already working on that. Why not create something that's this passive way to get jobs in the background? Why not do that? So again, clicking on profiles of potential connections and then asking for an introduction. We went through all of those things with BuzzFeed. One other thing I want to see if BuzzFeed does, hold on one second. I'm going to go to jobs. They used to do this. And this often will depend on if the person posting the job has a certain level of account. Okay. So it doesn't look like this one does. Sometimes a job, let me go back and just see if they have something else too. Sometimes a job will tell you who posted the job. Would love to see if they do. They don't, doesn't look like they have it in here. When that happens, you can then go in and say, you can do that immediate thing right now, or saying, I want to go look at your profile and just immediately say, I'm interested in this job. I totally want to do it. Yeah. Aha. Had to page down. Look, there's a job poster. So if you're interested in working at BuzzFeed in Sydney, Australia for this job, I can click on her. Now Lauren is going to get an alert saying, Rachel was looking at your profile. Maybe I did that right after I applied. Ta-da! So use that. Click on profiles. You guys, if you click on profiles, they're going to get an alert that you looked. It's just a great way to say, hey, passing, hi, love you. But it's a really good way to just get in somebody's face and get an eyeball and say, why were you looking at me? I wonder. Well, then if you applied, hello, they can make that connection. Work that network, work those tools, get this done. All right. All right, so we have pretty much covered everything. What I would like you guys to do now, and I do this on YouTube, do this here, because this is your opportunity, okay? Would love it if you guys right now, if you have a custom LinkedIn URL, or if you're about to go change it, in the comments on this video, put your LinkedIn profile. Let's network. I would love to start connecting with all of you. Let's connect. Let's build our connection network and get seen by those different jobs and those different connections. Let's make this happen. So right now, I'm prompting you, watching this replay or watching live, go put your LinkedIn URL in the comments, okay? And let's do that and go connect with each other. When you're brought together by one common event, you never know what that could lead to. You never know if that could lead to a job down the road, okay? So let's do that. The other thing I want you guys to put in the comments, which company would you most like to work for? Let's get the dream team going on here. Which company would you just be like, man, if somebody from that company came to me today and said, hey, we'd like you to work for us, you'd be like, dream job. Put that in the comments, okay? Tag their YouTube page if they happen to have a YouTube page, but go ahead and put them in there. You can even, if you want, go find their company page on LinkedIn, go find their website, put it in the comments. Let's do this. Lastly, I want to ask you guys, what's the one thing from today you're going to do? So I'm going to really quickly cycle through all the things we talked through today. One thing I think it's an easy thing to do, customize your LinkedIn URL. Is that the thing you're going to do? Are you going to go outside on a decent day where it's not just dripping rain or snow and stand against a solid wall, preferably brick, and have somebody take a picture of you and get that headshot photo uploaded? Are you going to do that? Are you going to put a background image up on your LinkedIn profile? Are you going to customize that headline, pitch yourself, and not just say, hey, I'm a team lead or I'm a social media manager? What else do you do? What are you awesome at? What are you doing? Are you going to turn on career interest, that secret, super secret way to tell recruiters that you are looking? Are you going to do that today? It's so easy. That's going to take you 5 minutes. Every single one of these take you 5 minutes. Fill in your experience and get visual. Upload a picture. Upload a PowerPoint you did. Upload a PDF of a report you kicked at, that you're just like, oh my God, I'm so awesome. Remember, it's got to be something that's okay to be public. Okay? If it's trademarked and stuff and it's like, that was an internal document, don't share that. That's not good. Are you going to go follow your favorite employer pages? Are you going to do that? Are you going to click on profiles of your potential connections? If you've done that, tell us in the comments. Say, yep, I just saw somebody. They're a hiring manager at a company. I went ahead and just clicked on their profile. That's all I did. Are you going to ask for that introduction? Go the extra mile. Do it. Nothing wrong with asking. The worst thing that you're going to see is somebody's just not going to respond. That's the absolute worst thing that would happen with an introduction. Lastly, work on your public profile. So put in the comments what you plan to work on. And see, this is where you guys, this is okay. I so appreciate that transparency that you're sharing that. Is that your LinkedIn profile might look bad today. It's going to take you 5 minutes or less for each of these things to go in and make it look awesome. Okay. It's not going to take that long. And think about this. How long do you spend applying for a job? You're seeing something on Indeed or on LinkedIn or whatever, and you're like, okay, I gotta, let me go. Usually that platform has a way you can upload your resume. You got to go update your resume already. You got to do that, right? You've got to do a cover letter most of the time. I hate cover letters, but they're still necessary. If you go interview, you've got to do thank you notes, all of these things. LinkedIn is worth the time. Again, coming from someone who has gotten their last 3 jobs through LinkedIn primarily, okay? It's how I've gotten my jobs. My current job, I actually followed the company and I had interviewed at the company 3 years ago, but I stayed connected to the recruiter and he reached out and now I have this job. Stay connected. Do that profile. Do the work. You guys are going to do this. And with that, we are at the end of our hour. I so appreciate you guys watching and interacting. I just really want you to succeed because this is it's an easy success. I never do get why people say, oh, I have been looking for months, but I didn't use LinkedIn. Why not? Probably could have shortened that up. You never know. Optimize your digital brand out there. Optimize that job search. Use LinkedIn to find that job. All of the things that you learned today are going to be ways that you can do that. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any requests for what you'd like for a future broadcast for next month, because we go live every month right here on YouTube. If you have a request for some social media topic or how-to that really kind of correlates to real life people looking for real jobs, you can use social media to do it. That was a great example for today. Put it in the comments. We'll be happy. I would love to get some ideas for future broadcasts. I have plenty of them, but yours matter more. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to follow Rachel Moore RS on everywhere. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for all the regular weekly updates we do. Today, there should be one posted over this weekend, at least, that is yet another LinkedIn how-to. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for interacting. And don't forget to get your LinkedIn profile updated.